Hi guys, it's Nicolas Bishop here. As you're quite aware, we've come to the end of season 2010, and with that brought a lot of relief, and we're just quite happy that it's all over and done with, and we can actually probably move on. Anyway, on Sunday morning there was a blog which a certain supporter put out there, saying thanks to a few groups, supporter groups, and a few individuals as well. Now, obviously, someone took offence to something that was said about me, which I thought was fine with. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I thought it was, a fair thing. And they've put a comment on there about a certain group, and obviously that certain groups take offence to it, and they've taken it personally. And what's happened is that basically they've decided to go for Jamie Koo. Now, can I just say something about Jamie? Jamie's been now really supporting what I believe in now for the last few months. And when Jamie came on board was when I started doing the petition. After a couple of weeks, he decided that he'd like to help out, which was good. And I asked him if that was okay, and he said yes. And then he helped out, give out some flyers, and then got interested in the court action that was appearing, which was in the courts at that time. Of course, that didn't go ahead, but Jamie was right there to the end and actually was brought in for when we were deciding if the supporters would go ahead with the court action right up to the final days. And Jamie has been supporting rugby league, and especially with the Melbourne Storm, since right through the beginning, right to the very beginning, back in '98. This guy, and if any of you don't know, does play for Sunbury Rugby League Club as well. He actually plays with some of our under-20s at times, and actually they're in the seniors, he's in the reserves most of the time, but knows these guys personally. So anyone that has a dig at him and says that he doesn't know anything about rugby league should find out a little bit about Jamie. Now, Jamie's a very passionate supporter, and someone believes in a fair go for all. And he, I've disagreed with him at times about certain things, but he has a passion to see that we become an independent community club, and for him it's the sooner the better. Now look, some of us feel that maybe that'll take a bit longer than what Jamie believes, but we'll give it a go and just see. But at the same time, there's always going to be people that disagree, and that's something called freedom of speech, that we're going to, everyone's able to say how they feel. Now, 17 days ago, Australia had that chance when we went to an election. And as we already know, that what's happened today, that Julia Gillard has now been sworn in as Prime Minister with the minority, coalition government, that these things happen. And basically, that you can still work together even though you have differences. And what proved about 17 days ago is that half the population's divided. 50 support the Labor Party and 50% support it's very close to that anyway, support the coalition government. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that you're always going to have a difference in opinion. Now, there'll be some people that support News Limited and they're quite happy to have them in our club, while there's others, which what we've been discussing, is basically unhappy with them being still here. There's pros and cons to everything. And what people have got to understand, it's with freedom of speech, we live in a democracy where you have the right to voice how you feel. And that's what Jamie has basically done. Alright, he's had a lot of coverage of late with his banners and all that, but that's how Jamie expresses himself. And one of the places he's expressed himself is on here on MadFan. Now, I'd like to point out that MadFan is not owned by myself, it's not owned by Jamie Koo, it's actually owned by Imelda and Rick. They both have been running this since March, and they thought it was a great outlet for supporters like us to have a say in how we feel about our club, positives, and also if we wanted to rant and get something off our chest, we could. Now, I just want to prove something about MadFan. MadFan has been great for everyone. And it was proven on the weekend, all those positive messages, and meeting some people that support the Canterbury Bulldogs and Newcastle, and what they said about what's happened to their clubs as well, all positive. And that's what this can be used for, all positive. But it also can be used for people like myself to have a voice and say we're not happy with things, and that's what's happened. Now, Jamie's used that quite successfully over the last couple of months. And we're up to about a month ago, whereby at a game where he was evicted for putting up a sign where he felt, basically that's what he believed in, and felt that he should be able to express how he feels on that signage. That wasn't a setup, and I've said nothing since, but I'm going to say it now. That was not a setup. It happened. It was recorded with an iPhone, and these things happen. Now, if you saw on the weekend, on the last game on Sunday, Jamie again had a sign. All right, and again they came up to him, but look, that's all in the past. What I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say to you all out there, is that Jamie has the right to express himself, like I do, like you do. Now, you don't have to be happy with what we say, but when it starts getting personal, that's when I get angry. And that's what's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. Jamie has received mail from certain people from the Banner Squad, and I'd like to point out to them that Jamie had nothing to do with that blog at all. And I have told certain parties in that Banner Squad that that's the case, but obviously they don't listen. But when you start threatening people with going to their house or threatening them violence, and that you'll get them because they know nothing about rugby league, well, I would find out my facts first about Jamie and find out what a considerate person he is. You're talking about a guy, let me just say this, you're talking about a guy that puts his own life before animals, for God's sakes. And if that doesn't say a lot about a person, then nothing will. This guy's got a great heart. He's got a great family that support him, and he's got some great friends. And I'll stick by him, especially when he's getting personally attacked. I'm not happy about this at all. When you attack someone like that, you attack me as well. And that's a true friendship. And I'll stick up for Jamie. And I'd just like to point out again, Jamie has nothing to do with this site except he can voice his opinion. He doesn't come onto it, and he doesn't have any all he does is that. He does not here to say, I own this site, because we've got nothing. We don't get paid for this. And if anyone thinks that we've been paid for anything throughout the year, can go and jump in the lake as far as I'm concerned. We've done this for the love of our club. It's something that we believe in, and that's why we've done it. We've received nothing. Not one freebie off anyone. And if you're going to throw around some, these slanderous remarks, then find out your facts first. Because I can tell you now, neither of us two, have received anything. We've done it for the love of what we believe is right and what we believe we'd hope to see at the Melbourne Storm one day. Now, going back to these remarks, please, people, think about what you're doing. If you want to hurt someone, you're going the right way about it. Now, I just cannot believe, if anyone saw this blog, they'd have a laugh about why would you get upset about that? Everyone can express how they feel about a certain thing. I've had plenty of people say about me over the last couple of months, that bald-headed, fat person, what does he know about rugby league? Well, probably I don't know as much as about, an expert like Phil Gould, but I sure do know a bit because I've been following this since the inception and beforehand with Western Suburbs up in Sydney. Now, please don't give us crap. If you don't know me or you don't know Jamie, then don't start expressing or saying stuff about us. Now, about Friday night, which is coming up, and which is the players' presentation night. And that's what I just said, players' presentation night. Have a listen at those words. It's for the players. It's not to do about the supporters. Actually, we're very lucky that we're able to attend and pay for the privilege, but we are invited there. And we have to get an invite. Yeah, you're all invited there, and it's up to you if you want to attend. And what we've got to remember, this is a night for the players. It's not a night for protests or anything else. Now, the rubbish that's been said by certain people and saying that Jamie's going to get up on Friday night and make a big mockery of it all, especially if someone from News Limited gets up, he's got no intentions of, never has, never will. None of us have. This is for the players. It's not for us to push our personal agenda. Please, if we wanted to, we could. We don't need the presentation board to push our own agenda. We've got plenty of things. This has made me so angry you do not believe. And if I was like a feral, like a lot of other people that probably support our club that I'm starting to find, I'd be swearing my head off now, but I'm not going to. Because I'm civilised, not like some people have acted in the last 24 hours with the hate mail that's gone on to Jamie Koo. Now, one thing I was going to do was close Thunderstruck, the Facebook blog. But I can tell you now, that's staying open, and this is why I proved why. Because people should be able to express how they feel. Other blogs on other sites on Facebook have decided no, that you can't voice how you feel. So I will leave the Thunderstruck open. I'm not allowing anyone to get abused and just take it. Why should we? Alright, we're much as supporter as other people are. We love our club as much as other people do. Now, let's just move on, please, people. What we should be considering now is, right, we've got over this nightmare, and we've got to look forward to the next challenge, which is 2011. Right, with 2011, we've got the biggest challenge yet is to maintain the membership increase that we've done this year. And how do you think all this bickering is going to do? What's that going to do to the club? Well, mate, it's going to make things worse, because at the moment, people like myself I just don't know why I want to be a member at the moment. If there's people like this carrying on, especially people who are supposedly representing the club every match day when they put up a banner. Now, I'm very angry at you people, and you people know who you are. And I will just say that enough's enough, and grow up and move on. Now, I'm willing to, and so should other people. But when you start slandering people who weren't involved in that blog, Jamie had nothing to do with it. He's never attacked anyone in the Banner Squad. And he's maybe once in the past he said something about a certain person whose name I'm not going to mention. But that was personal to that person and was done in an email because they had to go at him. So just please, what we're going to learn from this as supporters is that, one, we might all disagree on certain things, but that doesn't mean that you've got to go and fight someone and have a go at them. Alright, I don't agree with everything else that everyone says, and there's quite a few. And I've met some of these people and I've told them to their face, like, I'm going to meet someone on the weekend and I said to them, look, I might disagree with you at times, you keep me on my toes, and they do. And that's what I like about it. It's happy bantering. But when it starts getting personal, and when you start threatening people, that's when it gets serious. So please move on. Look at 2011 as the new direction, a new challenge for us all. Alright? Make sure that we can join as many supporters and get all these people who have just come to one game this year and make them sure they join up so we can increase our membership past 10,000. And look, one of the pleasing things about this year is that our crowds have been up, above most other clubs in New South Wales, which is great. So why can't we, all work together and make sure our club survives? Now, I'm just going to repeat just a couple of things. One, Thunderstroke staying. It's not closing. There is no way in the world I'd do that now after what's happened. Two, do not attack people without knowing them personally themselves before you do. Now, if you want to do that, and you're not happy with things, come and see me about it. I've been the voice for now since April the 22nd. Since I decided to do it, stick my head out, and I'm happy to do that. But if you're going to attack one of the friends of mine, you attack me as well. And just remember that. I'll stand by my friends, and we don't need to attack you with violence because that's pathetic and that's childish. What I'll do is I'll just express my distaste for what you're doing, and that's how I get back at people. Is because I make them look at themselves and see how childish they are. Anyway, enough of this. So let's all just try and move on, forget about this, and give the players what they deserve on Friday night as a send-off to some great superstars. 6 guys that really deserve it. 6 superstars who play for our club and play their guts out, especially this year. And that's what I remember. Stop fighting and stop using threats and leave people like Jamie to get on and do what he wants. If you disagree with it, bad luck. Just move on and do your own supporting and do whatever you like. But don't get personal. Thank you.